why did we have to wait so long for the new Africa Twin?
Well, first of all, we'd like to apologise for keeping everybody waiting. And of course, as times change, the popularity of different segments rises and falls. So earlier in this century, maybe there was higher popularity for sports bikes and then more for touring bikes. But in the last several years, we've seen the trend for off-road bikes becoming stronger and stronger and stronger. So we felt that now was the time to bring back the Africa Twin after the long wait. So we're sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Still, it seems to be a bit different approach. So I would like to know what have you learned from this few years lesson to create this bike and to be better from others.
So we know that GS has been king of the market and it's a great, wonderful bike for many years. But of course, with the GS and many other bikes in this area, perhaps their focus is more on long on-road touring. But with the Africa Twin, based on the original concept, which is the same for this bike, we wanted to make sure that at a very high level it was capable of running on road, so at high speed on highway with luggage for long distances, but also to have the high level of off-road capability. So we returned and remained true to the original concept of the Africa Twin, but because times have changed, of course, we have different ways of approaching emission regulations, which are now tougher, and of course technology has moved on a lot in the recent years. So we have a lot of new technology on the bike, but the kind of riding feeling and performance that we're looking for is very similar in concept to the original Africa Twin, which had such a good combination of on-road and off-road performance.
And what was the hardest part about creating the new Africa Twin? Maybe you felt the pressure of the legend or something like that?
Yeah, so replying to the expectations of the customers with a bike like this is always a little bit of pressure, but I love bikes myself and I enjoy making the development of such a big project, so I've had a good time doing it. And in terms of what is the hardest part of it is, as I said, because we wanted to have, like the original Africa Twin, the ability to do long, very long journeys on road with a fully loaded, fully luggaged bike on the highway, and at the same time have a good off-road performance. That of course needs a very high ground clearance and long suspension, and to have that very high level of performance both on and off-road together in one package, that was probably the hardest part of the whole project.
Can you tell me where it was tested? I mean, kind of places, which places to have a picture and what distances and things like this?
Exact distances and number of hours is secret information, so we cannot tell you that exactly, but most of the testing has been done in our facilities in Japan, but we've also had the bike in Germany and Italy to try it out in those conditions as well.
This Africa Twin comes from the race background, so did you use your riders to test it, and did they take any influence, any part in creating the whole model?
Basically, the test and development team are Honda employees, so they're internal people. But many of the members that tested the bike are off-road enthusiasts, obviously, and there are even some that helped develop the original Africa Twin for us. So we've been testing it with a very high level of off-road riders.
Weren't you afraid that hardcore off-road purists will be mad about it, or maybe we're just okay, they have manual and DCT is for what kind of sale numbers? Yes.
So there is a tendency for people to think that DCT and off-road is not perhaps a perfect marriage. Any off-road rider knows that because of the low traction conditions off-road, a lot of tyre slip, that you have to be feathering the clutch a lot. And actually taking that effort away from the rider, so meaning that they don't have to make any clutch operations with their left hand, it makes a very big difference to the amount of fatigue and the amount of concentration needed to ride the bike. So it's actually quite a big advantage not to have to operate the clutch so much. So if you can imagine riding up a dirt hill, quite a steep one, the amount of clutch operation that you'd be using on a manual bike is actually quite significant. So if you could imagine not having to use the clutch and just work the throttle to do that, it's quite a big advantage. If you want to see the proof of it, you can see on the promotional videos that many of the bikes ridden there are DCT bikes, and you can see their off-road capability. And in terms of what we've done new for the Africa Twin for off-road, of course when you're riding off-road sometimes you want to be able to slip the rear wheel and turn using the traction and the degree of traction that you need to get round by just slipping the bike. And to do that we've added something called the G-switch to DCT. So pushing the G-switch controls the clutch electronics in a different way, which allows you to retain just the right amount of traction when riding off-road to be able to slip the rear wheel. So we've added something to the existing DCT technology, especially for off-road, called the G-switch.
So the DCT, with all of that, DCT gearbox knows when you want to slip, when you are on the slippery road, and when you want to do some more hardcore stuff to just to play with the bike off-road.
In order to make it possible for you to ride off-road in DCT in the way you've described, that's why we have the G-switch. When you're on-road, you have the regular DCT, but the G-switch allows you to ride off-road in that style you described.
Well, it sounds great, so we can't wait to try it out in action. And thank you very much for the interview. And we hope to ride the new Africa Twin soon.
Please try and ride it, because we think, keeping true to the concept of the original Africa Twin, with the new one, we hope exceeded the expectations of the customers who have been waiting for such a long time. So please look forward to riding it, because we're very proud of it.